That is the hardest part of that ring.
Austin 2016 says I just whipped your ass.
For the hardest part of the ring.
Hello, everybody. Welcome
The hardest part of the ring.
Hello and welcome to episode number 4 of Hardest Part of the Ring, the podcast where 4 friends get together to discuss the wonder of professional wrestling. Today we're focusing on No Mercy, the Raw pay-per-view that occurred on Sunday at the Staples Center in Los Angeles. But before that though, I should introduce the guys. I'm Adam and I'm joined today as always by Sam.
Hello.
John.
You're right, Oos.
And Brett.
Nice.
Hello.
Hello.
Threw me there, John.
4 episodes in. Yeah. What did you say?
Oos,
Yeah,
I think.
Oos.
Yeah.
Oh,
We're all
cool.
Ooses, aren't we?
We're brothers now. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
fine.
kind of miss when you call us rosebuds.
Yeah, I was going to try and work that in a later episode, maybe. Spoilers.
Nice. Okay, so obviously we're going to talk about No Mercy, as I've mentioned, but just before that, I thought it would only be right for us to give a little nod to the late, great Bobby the Brain Heenan, who died just over a week ago now. Bobby, of course, known as a wrestler and a commentator, but perhaps best appreciated as a manager. We had a little chat about him, and we kind of realised that he was around during an era that we were either too young or weren't really watching. But I did read quite a lot about him. Really enjoyed the WWE tributes that they had on Raw and SmackDown last week, and had a look at the list of wrestlers that he'd managed. The likes of Big John Studd, Andre the Giant, Ravishing Rick Rude, Mr. Perfect, Ric Flair, Lex Luger, Colt Cabana, Nigel McGuinness, and CM Punk towards the end. Obviously,
Who's Ric Flair? Sorry.
Hey, you need to go back to the end of episode, what was it, 2? Where we did our woos.
Callback.
Yeah, can't believe you can't remember that. You guys got any thoughts on Bobby the Brain? John?
Yeah, I mean, we mentioned this in episode 1, but I kind of grew up watching WrestleMania 3, and Bobby was commentator on it, and also it was Andre the Giant's manager, and sort of escorted him to the ring. And he wore the most amazing white suit. But yeah, other than that, obviously, like you said, we kind of missed his best part. But since he died, I've been watching a lot of his stuff with Gorilla Monsoon, with Primetime Wrestling.
Yeah.
And it's just some of the funniest things in wrestling I've ever seen. Like how quick he is and how funny he is. And the chemistry those two have together was amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, he seemed genuinely hilarious and a total pro.
Yeah. Did anyone watch that clip of him when he was commentating on Nitro and he said goodbye to Gorilla after he died?
No.
No.
Oh God, he says goodbye to his friend basically, and he's desperately trying to keep it together.
Oh.
I was bawling my eyes out. It absolutely wrecked me.
Oh, really showing your emotional side there, John. That's lovely. So, what else have we been up to? I've got to be honest, I have taken a bit of time off from work and also a bit of time off from watching wrestling just because it's been so crazy recently. So, I mean, I have obviously watched No Mercy because that was quite important before this podcast. I watched NXT, I've caught up on all of that, and I've been watching Raw and SmackDown. I wanted to mention
just the 10 hours of wrestling.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so I have actually watched quite a lot. I've skipped through a bit of it though, but I did want to talk about NXT briefly and how good it is right now and how they've got
amazing.
so much fresh talent. The likes of some of the ladies being used from the Mae Young Classic. Bianca Belair had a match against Lacey Evans last week.
I think with NXT, it very much goes in cycles, doesn't it? Like, very much a case of harvesting the crop, bringing them up to the main roster to do nothing, and then kind of NXT gets a little bit weaker again, and then it gets really good again. It seems to be kind of coming to that point again.
How exciting is British Strong Style / Moustache Mountain versus Fish and O'Reilly and the whole
Yeah, that's a great match.
thing they're doing there.
No, I'm behind. Damn it! I need to watch that.
Oh, you haven't seen that? Oh,
No, I thought I had caught up, but you guys started mentioning matches I don't remember. I'm like, perhaps I haven't caught up.
No,
I need to catch up too, Brett. We'll watch together.
Yeah.
You can do a little spin-off podcast.
McIntyre's facing Roderick Strong for the title on just an ordinary NXT show, and maybe this week or next week. I really hope Roderick gets the title, because Roderick versus Adam Cole for the belt would be amazing.
Yeah.
Be more interesting. I'm not loving Drew McIntyre.
He looks the part, though. I mean, he's massive and muscly and handsome.
Yeah, he's a beast. Well, in the last week's episode, he came out wearing jeans.
And shirtless.
Yeah, all oiled up.
That's always really uncomfortable, isn't it? I think that's what I find uncomfortable with John Cena in his like jean shorts, and it's like it's not wrestling attire, so why don't you have a top on? Or
Man, I love a wrestler in jeans. It brings me back like the Stone Cold kind of days, and I'm just like, it's a good look.
Yeah, you didn't seem to mind when I just turned up in jeans for the SummerSlam watch. So moving on then, we've got lots to talk about in this episode. First of all, I just wanted to say a big thanks to everybody who's downloaded episodes 1, 2 and 3 so far. Those of you who listened to the end of episode 3 will remember that we had a little competition. We asked people to retweet one of our tweets to be put in the pot to potentially win some original artwork that Brett did for the episode, for the third episode. We are going to pick a lucky winner at the end of this, so if you are in the pot, then you've got that to look forward to.
Do we have like a Royal Rumble ball scrambler thingy?
Oh no, that would have been great. I've just typed each of the names individually into an online random, it's called random thing
That's
picker.
Cool. Don't Google ball scrambler, because that is not what we're looking for.
That would be dangerous. So yes, our first ever giveaway, we'll be announcing who the winner is at the end of the podcast. So should we move on to No Mercy?
Yeah, let's do it.
go for it.
Okay, we'll talk about No Mercy after this.
Oh, man, shoulder first on the apron.
So, No Mercy. As mentioned, No Mercy was the Raw pay-per-view that happened on Sunday at the Staples Center in Los Angeles. Little bit of No Mercy history for you guys. First ever one was in 1999. Do you guys know where that was?
No.
No points up for grabs. I just thought you might know because it was in Manchester in England, apparently.
Oh, wow.
Manchester.
Yeah. This is according to Wikipedia that I quickly looked at before this, so let's hope that's
The
right.
truth.
This was the 13th No Mercy of all time, having sort of had little hiatuses since it started in 1999. And it was kicked off with the pre-show match of Apollo Crews versus Elias. Did most of us skip this? I think you watched it, Brett.
I did. I try and watch the match in the pre-show because, you know, there was a good one with the
Someone
New
has
Day the other day, you know, in the previous one. But this one, you know, Elias versus Crews. Elias won. Enough said.
Yeah.
No love
Yeah.
for Elias? Nothing at all?
No love for that match.
It's a shame because Apollo Crews is... I always like him in the ring, but obviously he's got very little charisma.
I sort of think both Elias and Apollo Crews would really tear it up if they had a bit more time on NXT to just kind of get their thing down.
Yeah. I thought the whole, like, you know, Titus Brand thing was going to be great for Apollo Crews. But, like, I don't know, Titus just isn't doing the managerial things at ringside. Like, he's not doing anything that, you know, helps get Apollo over. He's just a mouthpiece for the segment, so it's totally redundant.
How many
really.
face managers do you really have, though? Like, normally if you have a manager, it's because you need a distraction because you're a heel.
Yeah, exactly. He should be a heel. Like,
It's
it
kind
makes
of
no
weird, though, because
sense.
like our solution for, or at least my solution for everything in wrestling is just, turn them heel, see how
That is the
works.
go-to thing, isn't it? I think we'll probably come
Yeah.
on to this with Miz versus Jordan. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we will.
I think that's the thing with most, you know, I guess new talent that don't have that much confidence with the charisma side and the talking on the mic. They start off as heels, don't they? Because I think it's a bit easier for them to, you know, express themselves in
On that
role.
subject, I think that's kind of why I'm not warming. Well, yeah, I am sort of warming up to Elias in that sense, in the fact that I kind of think he's getting heel heat over in the way that he's meant to.
He is. He's
Yeah.
growing, isn't it? Appearance by appearance, the crowd.
yeah, the singing in the centre of the ring is a heat magnet. It really is.
Yeah.
It's a tried and tested
Yeah.
method, isn't it? Just insult the crowd and sing a song about them, but
Yeah,
it works.
I actually think he's working out better on the main roster
Yeah.
than he was in NXT.
Yeah.
And I just had no positive feelings towards him at all when he was in NXT, and now I'm kind of
warming to him a little
enjoying
bit.
him a little more. Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
Okay, so if we get into the main show then, the first match was the Intercontinental Championship match between The Miz and Jason Jordan. The Miz, of course, accompanied by the Miztourage. The commentary team pointed out that this was Jason Jordan's first ever one-on-one pay-per-view match of his career.
Is Jason Jordan Kurt Angle's son?
No.
Oh my god.
Spoiler.
What do you think? What do you think about Jason Jordan? Maybe we'll talk about the match and maybe what his future might be. But what do you think of the way that they've built him so far?
Right, I get it. He's Kurt Angle's son. Great. But it's kind of like the whole commentary, the whole time they kept saying the whole match was like, he doesn't want to have Kurt Angle's name under him. He wants to do this on his own. And it's like, well, the commentary are the people who are bringing that to the attention every 2 seconds. And like, if you're building that to a story, great. If you're building him up to, I don't know, go rogue and lose his temper, fine. But otherwise it's like, just, I don't know. Who cares? Who cares that he's Kurt Angle's son? It brings nothing to the table here.
Hasn't worked, has it, really?
I quite like the storyline. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There's something quite Friday Night Lights about it, which I quite like. And I think you're right. If they do it so Jordan does turn heel and becomes kind of a bit evil, I think it could be interesting. Admittedly, he's obviously struggling a lot on the mic solo.
Yeah. He's very vanilla personality wise, isn't he?
Yeah.
The wrestling's there, but the other side
We
is
say
not
struggling
there.
on the mic, but I mean, I don't think I could do an interview after.
Oh, why did they
full-on
do
match,
that
like-
after the match?
That was awful.
Jesus.
Yes, it didn't add anything, did it? It didn't. It was totally not necessary. He sounded Irish as well when he started talking.
Yeah.
There's a
Really
couple
weird.
of in-ring interviews after the matches during this pay-per-view, which I just found bonkers.
They're trying to do the sport element, like they do a little bit with NXT and they did a lot with Cruiserweight. I think they're trying to bring that sport style journalism to it, where
Maybe try that out on your better performers on the mic,
Definitely. Because I mean, if we get to the match, I thought he'd had a good match.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he's had a couple of decent matches in the build up with his matches with Cena and Reigns, and he's been given a chance to show what he can do.
I was looking forward to this match because I thought, as wrestlers, both these guys are good, and I thought actually this is going to be decent for what's in the ring. It's just, as we say, the whole Jason Jordan personality whole aspect means that you don't perhaps have so much interest or invested in it, but the wrestling itself, it was good.
What would be quite cool is with Survivor Series coming up, if he continues to feud with The Miz and the Miztourage, if we get to a situation where he's kind of in this whole 3-on-1, and then he gets kind of backup from Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin, and that turns into a 6-man tag, I would enjoy that. Kind of bit of closure to the American Alpha kind of 1.0 series.
Well, from Raw, it looks like The Miz is going into a program with Roman Reigns and The Shield. Yeah.
The Shield.
So I don't know where Jordan's going to go after this.
Oh.
Did you like the moment in this match where, when the Miztourage finally, interfered and the crowd went, nuts? They were, full on cheering the interference in the 1, 2, 3. I mean, I know, it's meant to be a home show for the Miz, but cheering the cheats.
The crowd are loving the Miz at the moment, and rightly so. He's again on Raw last night. He's just been incredible.
He needs to be in the main title picture, I think. He deserves it. He totally deserves it.
Yeah, I would completely agree.
Yeah.
I've been trying to place who The Miz reminds me of for about 2 years now, and it occurred to me today, he is like the living embodiment of Johnny Cage from Mortal Kombat. He's just this cocky movie star, arrogant guy who everyone wants to punch or something. It's just cool. I really like it.
Yeah.
If you look at his body of work over the last couple of years, he's made everyone he's wrestled against look amazing. He had some great matches with Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah, he's done wonders. I like him as the Intercontinental Champion. I mean, he's had it for ages, but I know he's lost it a couple of times, but I'm happy for him to keep it.
Do you reckon because of the whole Shield angle that they might give that to Roman Reigns?
I really hope they don't go back to the Shield.
I mean, maybe not, because I know in Raw, like, he was like, I'm interested in the Universal.
I'm pretty sure they're going to put Reigns back in the Universal picture again now.
Yeah, that match on Raw next week feels like Mr. R's interference, maybe a Shield run-in type scenario.
Yeah. Anyway, so back to this match. Jordan did a lot of cool things, I thought. The vertical suplex right from the start. The
deadlift.
Yeah. The double back-to-back Northern Lights combination thing was really cool. Lovely move. And the crowd obviously loving it. There were a lot of, I was going to say there were a lot of this is awesome chants in this pay-per-view. And there were, I thought, in the first few matches. Do you think that was warranted?
Do you think the match was awesome?
I don't know if I'd go that far.
No. I thought it was decent. Yeah.
This is decent.
Just whilst we're on the subject of the crowd, did anyone else see the woman who brought like a newborn baby in the front row?
Yeah, with the ear defenders.
Little earmuffs. It was incredible.
Yeah, it looked like she had a young son who was absolutely lapping it up, and then the little baby as well, which is a bit weird.
Yeah.
The crowds are normally just full of very strange people.
Yeah.
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 It was an alright match, I thought.
I really liked it.
But I thought it was good.
Open.
Yeah.
I was hoping it would be the beginning of a feud rather than them moving apart from each other. Hopefully, still can be.
Yeah, I think they'll keep it going for a little bit, maybe a week or two longer. But definitely looks like they're building towards something else for the Miz. So the next match was a singles match between Finn Balor and Bray Wyatt. I originally wrote down that this is a match that we should be really excited about when you look at the two names involved, but I guess because of what's gone on in the past, and we were fairly underwhelmed with their match at SummerSlam, none of us were excited about this, right?
No,
and I think that's what made it all the more surprising that I thought it was a really good match.
but it's the same for the match at SummerSlam. I wasn't that excited for it, but I thought they did a good job.
Yeah, I mean they're good. They are good.
Yeah,
wrestlers,
they're really good.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
they're pros.
I don't like Bray Wyatt that much as a wrestler in recent years. I don't think he's done a huge amount right, but
No.
on this occasion, I think both of them brought their A game. I thought the match had a very kind of Japanese style to it. It seemed like a lot of heavy hits. And
Yeah, I
kind
thought
of
so
good
too.
selling from both wrestlers.
Bray did quite a few impressive things, I thought, in the ring.
Yeah.
Uranagi, and yeah, the strikes on Balor were fierce.
I think for me, like when he did those like suplex throws, you know, where he lifted him up like it was going to be a suplex
That was
and just
really
launched
cool.
him.
I like that.
Yeah.
Like there was that moment where Bray started to become really dominant in that match, and I got invested at that point, like because I wasn't like totally like loving it with this match until that point, and then it seemed to be like, okay, Bray's going on to, you know, have a dominant spell here, and this is going to be awesome, and then it just like quickly petered out with just like, you know, going to the top turnbuckle, and oh no, he's got up and he stopped it. Just seemed like
How did we feel about Finn Balor's 2-player colours?
I love the grey ring gear. Really loved it.
Yeah,
I liked it.
Yeah,
that's my first night.
Yeah, mine too.
Yeah, me too.
Finn, I like the grey.
There's just loads of hearts. Just loads of hearts everywhere.
My first note was the Balor's new jacket, collarless. And for a man who likes to pop his collars at least 5 or 6 times as he walks down the ramp, that's a bold move.
What was that really your first night, Adam? Or was it on how buff Finn Balor was?
I didn't know
looking?
that until he took the jacket off.
Can we discuss this for a second? Because Finn Balor, good lord, he's an attractive man. Like his eyes melt me.
I mean, if we're going down this road, let's not forget Mr. Johnny Gargano.
Hey, we're focusing on Balor at the moment.
I think I go Balor. I go Balor.
Really? Oh, I don't know.
See, I reckon John is bringing this up because we've all said that we think John looks a little bit like Finn Balor in the past.
I don't look anything. For any listeners out there, I don't look anything. I wish I looked like Finn Balor.
You're like a...
Just
anything
shave
like him.
the side bits a bit more,
Yeah.
John, and then you'll have
Yeah,
it.
you're like a little... You're a mix of Corey Graves and Finn Balor, and maybe
I think it's
something else.
just because I'm quite short, and when I drink, I sound Irish.
Yeah, maybe.
That's probably it. That's
And
probably
you
just
used to
it.
come to work in your underwear and a leather jacket.
Maybe we should we should sort of clear things up for the listeners a bit. John looks a little bit like a mix of Corey Graves and Finn Balor. Brett looks a little bit like a mix of Daniel Bryan and Sheamus. Sam? What does Sam look like? I was going to...
I mean, Mark Corrigan from Peep
God.
Show.
Yeah.
You could have said anything. Because, I mean, personally, I look like a mix of between the Rock and Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels.
That's a strange
Yeah,
mix.
The Rock. Where did that come from?
I don't know what that would...
I just was thinking of two sort of iconically sort of buff, good-looking wrestlers. Although I guess Shawn Michaels isn't looking his best anymore.
He still looks kind of rugged, I think, Shawn Michaels.
I don't know. You get past 40, should you still have a ponytail?
Probably not.
Hey guys, do you remember when we were discussing No Mercy?
Yeah, let's get back to it. This was definitely the best match of their feud. We can definitely agree on that. I think it would have been a nice end, but on Raw it looks as if it's going to carry on. So we'll see what happens with that. Any other thoughts on the match?
Kevin Owens. I look like Kevin Owens.
Oh, yeah.
A
Yeah, you
little
do.
bit, yeah.
Sorry.
Kevin Owens.
Kevin Owens.
It's a good match.
I think it's difficult for sort of Bray and Balor because there's nowhere for them to go. They can't really go in the title picture, and the Intercontinental picture is kind of
I think
busy anyway. There's nowhere
Doesn't
for
Finn
either
Balor
of them
have
to
a
go.
feud lined up with another superstar? One of the best ones of all time.
Sam rates Goldust. We need to make that clear now.
Not just Sam. I'll throw my hat in that.
All right,
ring as
you
well.
rate Goldust. Sam is...
I adore Goldust.
Okay, you adore Goldust.
Yeah.
Why, Sam? You may as well tell everyone.
Why do I adore
Yeah.
Gold? He has been doing a bang-up job for 20 plus years.
A bang-up job.
He does. Seriously, like he's incredible.
Bang
Whether
tidy.
it's jobbing, whether it's getting a tag team over, whether it's getting another wrestler over, no matter what the
Comedy.
task is. Yeah, comedy, creepy, serious. He was a huge, like, in a kind of time when, I don't know, it was probably not acceptable to be gay in wrestling. He brought a very sexually flamboyant character to wrestling, and he owned that. And I just thought, you know what? Props to him. That's really cool.
Yeah.
So,
Can't argue.
Yeah,
I
no,
can't argue with that.
absolutely love Goldust.
I once watched one of his matches when he was on WCW where it was in the back of a truck which was driving around. I can't remember who he was fighting. It's one of the weirdest, shittest matches I've ever seen.
I love a weird WCW. One day we're just going to have to do a pod on the weirdest WCW matches.
So, he had a match. Finn Balor had a match last night, didn't he, on Raw with Goldust, and I quite like the fact that they've got Goldust involved with Wyatt rubbing off the face paint. It was quite weird seeing him coming down to the ring with no paint on, though.
I like that. I thought that kind of looked cool.
Yeah, but you realise what an old pro he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
He did a great job as well. Like, looks great in the ring.
yeah.
Still
he
got
does.
it.
Okay, after this match, they had a little Asuka tease, saying that she's going to appear at TLC, which I think we're all pretty excited about. It will be interesting to see, what they do with her, but she's just been so formidable that you'd hope that she'll just go straight into the title picture.
Yeah, but who's worried?
Yeah.
I'm worried.
I think we're all slightly worried.
I mentioned this before. I actually think Asuka should lose her first match on the main roster. Like, I think rather than having this whole stigma of like, oh, she was undefeated, and kind of building another Brock Lesnar, she should come in with all of this kind of, I don't know, belief behind it. All of this, she's going to do huge things, and just first match, loses through either overconfidence or
Could
luck.
like they go on? They could throw her into like a match with Nia Jax or something, because you know that there's like size to conquer then as well, rather than just another combatant. I think that would be legit.
I just think it'd be a cool story. Like this undefeated Empress, all of a sudden she comes in. The first thing she does is messes up. Kind of like a bit of the Hideo Itami current storyline about it.
The trouble is with the history of so many people from NXT coming up and not really doing much, that kind of just falls into that, I think. Whereas if you bring her up and then make her dominant, like she worked her way all the way, she beat everyone in NXT, then she beat everyone on Raw, the main roster. So that's a thing. That's a bigger, better story.
I mean, look how good it was when...
I think that's what they're going to do anyway.
Look at how good it was when Balor came up and then he won the Universal Championship straight away in that tournament. That was really cool.
Yeah.
And then it obviously
But then
all
look
went
at everything
down.
beyond that. Exactly. Whereas like you have someone come up and the first thing they do is lose, it kind of, all of a sudden, you build up another star, you build up Asuka, who definitely already has that credit in the bank to do big things.
Yeah, we'll see.
You have an interesting story, which is different.
We'll see.
We'll
see what they do, and we will talk all about it on our next podcast, the Tables, Ladders and Chairs special. Straight after this, we had the Tag Team Championship match, pretty eventful match, between The Bar and 2/3 of the Shield, Sheamus and Cesaro versus Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins.
Are they actually going
And
by
the corner post.
Are they actually going by the name The Bar as well? Is that
Well, they've got it on their boots, they got it on their pants, they got a t-shirt.
And they keep
The Bar
saying it.
t-shirt I quite liked. I'm not going to get it,
Yeah.
but I like the design.
Did you see Sheamus with the Pickle Rick patch on his jacket? I just noticed it's next to a Mighty Boosh one.
And
as
the
well.
Liverpool FC one he's got on there as well. Did you see? He's a Liverpool fan.
What I think is important though, guys, can we just give Cesaro a standing ovation? I'm going to give him a clap.
Wow.
Yeah.
John is standing. Just for the listeners, John is actually standing.
Yeah.
Like,
He used
what
to go
a
see a dentist.
performance. Unbelievable. This match was crazy hot.
Yeah, and he didn't just like lose his teeth. Like if they'd have just got knocked out, that'd have been one thing. But they got knocked into his jaw,
Oh my god.
like pushed up.
It's mad, isn't it? Because it just looked as if he'd snapped the front two off.
Yeah.
And then every time they showed a slow-mo replay, I was thinking, well, where are the teeth? You can't see them go anywhere.
Yeah.
And then we hear what actually happened.
I had to rewind sort of when I first saw the blood, because it looked like he had actually taken a proper super kick to the nose initially. That's when I first saw all the blood, and I was like, hang on, did he literally? So I was like, rewind.
I did a few rewinds.
No,
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
no,
I did.
he already had blood.
Yeah.
What must have been going through his mind just that moment before Seth Rollins kicked him in the face? Just like, Seth, take it easy. I think I'm injured. Just Seth just like...
That little glance he does to Sheamus
Smash.
as soon as he realises, the way he sort of looks
Yeah.
at him and opens his mouth like, oh God, what's just happened?
But then he carries on for like a good 5 minutes. Well, not
It's
5 minutes,
astonishing.
but a good couple of
Yeah.
minutes. And before he tags out for the first
consummate
time.
professional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
And there was a bit where he obviously said to Seth, look, kick me in the face because I can do this amazing blood splurt in my mouth.
Yeah.
That's just so amazing. And the way that everyone else, even Sheamus and the other team, just worked around it and they did such a great job.
It did.
That was a really good match.
It was crazy that
Yeah.
that happened because basically he went a bit over the top with his reaction to the slingshot, because he essentially chucked himself onto that turnbuckle, didn't he? So you'd think he would have been able to stop that from happening. It's just mad. It's mad that you can do that. Imagine that happening.
Totally misjudged.
Imagine how much pain you'd be in if your two front teeth got wedged up into your gums.
Yeah.
Like how swollen your mouth must be, filled with blood. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you even fix that? Is that a case of pliers and then pulling them back out?
No, I was reading apparently.
That's
they
just
have
surgery
Oh,
taking them out
put
completely.
fake ones in.
my God. That's just...
Yeah.
Oh.
But even despite that, this match was amazing.
Yeah. Match of the night
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
for sure.
Yeah.
That power bomb as well, that double
The white
team
noise
move
into-
where
yeah,
he
the power bomb.
powerbombed. Yeah, Seth.
Yes.
It was Seth onto Ambrose,
I
wasn't
popped
it?
so much
I was
for that
like,
kick out. I could not believe they kicked out of that. I could not
I
believe
wish they
it.
had
Yeah.
done it a little bit quicker. Like it was a little bit too much setting up, kind of.
Shut up,
I
Sam.
don't know.
Shut up, Sam. We were talking about how great this match
sorry.
is.
I'm
Okay.
Yeah.
Just
The guy had like teeth
yeah, for God's
wedged
sake.
up. Give him a break.
I loved it, and I love what they've done with Sheamus and Cesaro from the best of the 7 series to becoming the reluctant tag team together, and the way that they've developed and become a proper team. Is
I think
great.
Cesaro is such a utility player. No matter what you do with him, he always
He always delivers.
Yeah.
Although he didn't wrestle on Raw last night, so bit of a cop out, really. Booker T said, "Do you agree with this? One of the greatest tag team matches I've seen in my life." Bit sort of over the top.
No.
Maybe a solid 4-star.
It's definitely in match of the year candidate, I think.
But Booker T seemed like he was getting corrected by Graves and Cole throughout like most of that show.
Oh, there was a bit later. Was
In
it
commentary.
with Friend?
There was so many uncomfortable
God, yeah.
moments where they were like, no, he has tagged with people before, and it was
He needs
just
to be
like,
reined in slightly, I think. Yeah.
Oh, Booker T just should not be on commentary. How?
No.
Why? How?
it just seems like he's not present. He's just saying whatever.
I like it. Occasionally, like Corey Graves will put him down, and then he will just be silent for like an hour. He just won't say a thing.
Yeah.
Takes it personally.
Or he laughs it off, which is brilliant. He just laughs at them if they do that as
I
well.
hate Booker T.
That's a good way to end. So, tag team title match done. Obviously, Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins retained the championship. And then we went straight into the Raw Women's Championship match. A fatal 5-way between Alexa Bliss, Sasha Banks, Nia Jax, Bayley, and Emma. Sam, I've got a question for you.
yes.
Have you bid on Sasha Banks' jacket for Connor's Cure? Her gold jacket.
Not yet. I'm going to directly after this.
I think that's probably the item of clothing that's missing from your look at the moment, Sam. That's probably going to make you pop, I reckon.
Yeah.
I've always thought that a gold Sasha Banks jacket would complement my. I have no idea how to finish that sentence.
Compliment your shoulders.
Your look, just
My Kevin Owens-esque figure.
So, the match itself. Do you know what they love in WWE? They love a close-up, a full-screen close-up of Nia Jax's face.
Yeah.
Her sultry, moody face as she comes down to the ring.
We're talking prettiest superstars. Nia Jax, beautiful face.
She does have a pretty face.
Beautiful person.
She looks super strong in this match as well.
Yes, that squat and then Samoan drop with Bliss and Bayley.
And the power bomb thing to the outside. She took that right on her head. That
Oh
was
yeah,
nasty.
she landed on her neck, didn't she?
Yeah.
She did take a few big bumps in this match.
she totally did. She did look like a beast, though. I thought it made her look really strong.
Yeah. I thought the setup to the double Samoan drop was a bit weird. Just seemed like Sasha was like, I'm just going to get involved here.
Yeah, true. Oh, I'll just climb aboard. Why not?
Yeah.
Bayley was anonymous in this
it
match
was-
as well. I haven't got anything written down about Bayley.
It's because you've just
Bayley was
written
there?
Yeah, exactly.
you've just written 5 pages of notes about Alexa Bliss
I have got quite a few notes on Alexa Bliss.
with more of
Yes.
those love
Actually,
hearts.
I've got one note on Alexa Bliss here, which is I thought she was going to attempt a choke slam. I really
same
wanted to
goes.
watch that.
Remember we found
thought
out
that
in the
too.
last podcast that she is the joint shortest person.
Which
So
I think makes me want to see a choke
that
slam
means
from her even
doesn't that
more.
mean it's impossible for her to do a choke slam on anyone unless they're kneeling
I
down?
don't know. But like the Hurricane used to do a choke slam, and it used to be one of the funniest moves, just because he obviously is quite a short wrestler.
Yeah.
I think Bliss would just have to jump as well to get some height into the choke slam.
Yeah. I think you're right.
Because if the other person like gets lifted up too high, then suddenly she's lost the grip around the throat.
I think if she did it, John would say it was the best choke slam he'd ever seen.
I mean, I hope she
Yeah.
includes it in her moveset. I think it would be
Yeah.
good
A
addition.
welcome addition to her repertoire.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on her or the future for that championship? Looks like she's going to move
So,
into a feud
On
with
Alexa,
oh, go on.
in this match, I thought she bumped like a champion. Like she was being thrown all over the place, and looked great.
She got squashed in like the very first moment, didn't she? Where Nia Jax ran into the corner. It was just like, oh, there's Bliss out for a good duration. Of
Yeah,
this
they
match.
cut to her lying flat on the floor, didn't they? Didn't
Yeah.
they? It was great.
Yes, it was brilliant.
I'm going to go big on this one, but I think Alexa Bliss is the best performer in the company.
Wow. Really?
Yep. Honestly, she's every time I watch her, she's just mesmerising. I can't take my eyes off her. Everything she does is amazing.
I not putting Bliss down at this point because I do think she's doing great.
Yeah.
But I just don't think anyone across WWE is being particularly like standout great at the moment anyway.
Braun Strowman.
Yeah. Sorry. So like I think there's people that are doing good. I don't think anyone's like, coming across as the best like, AJ Styles was last year.
Yeah, I think you're right, actually. Well, no, but Styles had an incredible year last year, and people like Charlotte as well. Charlotte was
But
amazing.
it's safe to say that kind of.
But she at the moment she is doing great though.
Sorry, I was just going to say, to be like the best, it's surely kind of based on more of a feud rather than an individual. Like, AJ Styles was the best last year in the fact that he had the best matches with John Cena. And sort of like this women's division, whilst, better than the SmackDown one, I don't feel like kind of having 5 wrestlers all fight each other at the same time gives enough of a platform for any of them to really make a claim for best wrestler in the company.
I mean, I didn't say
I quite
best
enjoyed it
wrestler, I
though.
said performer. There's a subtle
Best
difference.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It's all about the nuances, you see.
Yeah,
Subtle.
throw that caveat in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think she's
Okay.
great. I think she's $1 million.
She is amazing.
As much as I thought at the beginning of this one or in the run up to it that, it's a women's match. Oh, look, they're putting everyone in the match again. Rather than like having, a particular feud. Let's just throw everyone in there. But I did enjoy it, I have to say.
It was a really good
I thought
match.
it had loads of great moments and I thought all I mean, maybe Bailey was missing a bit, but I thought all actually contributed quite a bit.
Yeah.
I was quite impressed with Emma as well, some of her moments in this match. Thought that built her up a bit as well.
I thought she was going to eat the pin, Emma, because they didn't build her up in any way before this match.
No, I thought it came like perhaps being in the championship match was too soon for what they seemed to start. Like it seemed like they'd only just started to build her and then she was in this match. So it felt, like that was too soon, definitely.
John, is Alexa Bliss the lamb to the Asuka slaughter?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, sad face
dear. Well,
now from John.
Oh.
The realisation you've broken.
This is it, guys. This is the end.
This might be John's final appearance on Hardest Part of the Ring.
I mean, just go back to Oscar. I don't want her to go straight in the title picture. I want her to like work her way up the roster, like Mortal Kombat style. Start at the bottom.
Like they did with Strowman. I know I go on about Strowman a lot, but
Or Goldust, playing the long game. Brett, you got a superstar you want to plug?
Goldust, AJ Styles.
just anyone.
This is a Raw pay-per-view. By the way, where's Samoa Joe? Is he injured?
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Okay. I missed that. I was just thinking, hang on, Samoa Joe's nowhere to be seen.
Yeah, so I agree. This was a good match, and I thought at this stage, after this match, I thought this is going well. This pay-per-view is going well. We've had solid to good matches.
One of the best pay-per-views of the year.
Yeah,
at this point,
and then
I was really excited.
And
then we had a match that many people have said was worthy of headlining. Many of
WrestleMania caliber,
maybe even WrestleMania. I mean, you can see why. They are two huge names. Definitely two of the most polarizing wrestlers in the company.
Right, hold on. Let's just talk about the definition of polarizing here, right?
Okay, you talk about it. I'm going to bring it up.
Enzo Amore is a superstar who gets booed and cheered in kind of mounts that are mixed, right? That, I would say, is polarizing. John Cena and Roman Reigns both seem to get booed lots.
Well,
lots.
I thought the crowd would be confused who to boo for. And when Cena came out, I thought, okay, there's a few boos there. And then when Reigns came out, I was like, oh, they are not confused. They very much hate Reigns.
Like, I don't think this is polarizing. I think this is hated
Yeah, I found the fans, like, this was one of the bits of my crowd like notes where I found the fans really distracting in this match because of the, like, you know, the boos and then the lots of boos and then, you know, like the "you both suck" chant that came along, and it just like got really uncomfortable. And I think Cena and Reigns themselves actually played up to what the fans were doing a bit too much.
Cena definitely was.
Like, it really stalled the beginning, didn't it?
Yeah.
It was just like, and he was going to leave, and it was like, that's what they want. Like, you're not.
I thought that was a really
I don't know what
risky
you're
play,
achieving
that
here.
was.
What I really hated about that bit, when Cena was walking up the ramp, why wasn't a ref counting? Was it a no DQ match?
Sam, I just looked up polarized so we can agree on the definition. Definition of polarized is to restrict the vibrations of a transverse wave, especially light, wholly or partially to one direction.
Oh,
So
I'm sorry, I was completely wrong.
Good.
Roman Reigns is the living definition of polarizing.
Exactly. Yeah, so that "you suck" chant, and then Cena walking off, as you guys were just talking about. Were they expecting that to happen, or
No, I don't think so. I think the ref would have counted if they had expected it.
Yeah,
I mean, then you've got to say Cena is a pro at playing up to the crowd, and
He is, but my God, that was a risky call. If they had gone nuts and just started chanting "yes, yes, yes" or whatever, I think they would have struggled to come back from that one.
Yeah, maybe.
I think they struggled to come back from that anyway.
This match just was very slow. Just take a long time to get going.
Yeah.
Whilst we're talking about slow match, there was one person in the crowd who I feel was a person who I just had all the best sympathies in the world for, because he had a selection of anime and video game based signs the whole pay-per-view. It was amazing.
What, he was swapping them?
He was swapping them out. There was like a Danganronpa one behind Alexa Bliss and a Persona 5 one, Guilty Gear one. This is proper video game geekdom. I've lost you.
Yeah,
guys.
you were loving it.
We're getting niche.
Whoops.
Cool. Nice one, Sam. So
All I can
Go
say,
back to the match. That's good.
yeah, I can say one thing on this match. I still hate the Superman punch, and I still hate even more Michael Cole screaming Superman punch after a Superman punch.
I'm definitely going to get a big Michael Cole Superman punch clip to edit into future episodes.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Just leave it alone.
It was just, I felt like they were just doing sort of, slow build up to a big spot, then another big spot. And there were some quite good shows of strength from both of them, I thought. And then they had some really close 2.5 count falls. So they had about 3 or 4 of them in a row, didn't they?
Yeah.
That roll through into the AA was awesome. I loved that bit.
Yeah. It just...
There was also an amazing moment where Roman lovingly moved Cena with his head. Just sort of rolled him over with his head.
Yeah.
That was really kind of sweet.
Oh, it's a bit like the Lion King.
Yeah, it was. It was just like, it's weird.
What about the spear on the announce tables with Reigns landing on top of his head? That was crazy.
Yeah.
Such a bad landing.
Yeah, I don't... Like, this match did have moments, but... Like, I don't know how I ended up feeling so meh about this match, even though it did have, some of the big WWE moments with some bigger spots. But yeah, just even after some of those, it just didn't seem to resonate at all.
It's a shame because the build was really good. I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I quite
Good
like
insults.
cocky Roman Reigns at the moment.
It's an improvement, definitely.
Yeah. WWE are in a weird place with Reigns because they can't turn him heel. If you turn him heel, everyone's going to start cheering.
And that would be terrible.
Yeah. It's so weird, everything around Reigns.
I think what annoys me about the Roman Reigns situation is the inevitability of the lead up to WrestleMania of him versus Brock Lesnar again, and just how I don't know, like just get it over with. Just you two fight each other. Give Roman the title so we can just kind of move on from this.
This match was definitely part of that journey with Cena's frankly weird long goodbye, even though he admitted on Raw Talk afterwards that it isn't a goodbye, it's sort of just a passing of the torch. But
Yeah, I feel like we've seen that before from Cena as well.
Yeah.
It's taken ages.
he took so long.
Yeah, after the AJ matches.
Yeah,
Yeah, he took his
armband off. Yeah,
his little
Yeah,
sweatband
gave it to
off.
the kid who's like, yeah, cheers. And then when he came back out for that salute, I mean, granted, we are not American. Not saying that all Americans are going to appreciate that, but they definitely fall for that kind of stuff more than we maybe would. But God, that was cheesy
All
as
I'm
hell.
saying is he should have taken a knee.
He should have. He should have.
taking an E or a knee.
A knee. A knee. Maybe both. Take a knee and then
Protest.
and then take
Yeah.
a knee.
Is that...
Yeah.
It's topical, Sam. Brett's being extremely
Good.
topical.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Okay. After that match, we had. Did you see the WWE 2K18 advert? I thought that was wicked. Really cool advert.
Yeah.
I skipped through this to be able to watch the wrestling in time.
It
for
was
the
a pretty
podcast.
good advert. Did you like the Jack Gallagher
Yeah.
moment? Like, you know, be this, be that, or be that guy.
or even be
So
him.
It was like
Yeah,
really
sort of.
odd.
Jack Gallagher is in the game, which
Yes.
might make his past year in 205 Live worthwhile. Who knows?
Teacup.
Then after that, we had the Cruiserweight Championship match between the champion Neville and Enzo Amore. We've actually got a question from Twitter from Kill'em with Kayfabe. Do you feel like the Cruiserweight match that took place between the two main events was more of a high spot than a cool down?
No.
No.
I used
moving
this
on.
match to go to the toilet.
Did you?
I did. I
You could have pressed pause.
I know, but I was running out of time.
Fine.
I enjoyed the story of this match, I have to say, and I think Enzo
Yeah.
is doing exactly what they want him to do to the cruiserweights.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, I can't deny, you know, as much as this guy is getting backstage heat, and I'm sure we're gonna obviously go on to the Raw segment as well with the cruiserweights, but like, he's got so much charisma, and as much as he is lacking in the ring, like, he's bringing so much interest in that story, I think, between him and Neville, or him and the cruiserweights. And actually, I've been really impressed with Neville's, like, you know, getting the microphone, getting to talk, and showing a bit of character as well. I mean, the match was essentially Neville beating Enzo up for the duration. Like, there was no, like...
I'm really
back
liking
and
this
forth.
feud a lot, a hell of a lot.
Yeah.
It feels so genuine. The whole Enzo Amore thing. I
Well,
think
everybody
they've made the best
genuinely
of,
hates Enzo.
Yeah, I think they've made the best of a bad situation.
Yeah.
I think it's weird how quickly the crowd have turned on Enzo.
Yeah, I was with them for a while, and then I felt like, oh, hold on, what's Enzo done that's pissed everyone off so much? And it occurred to me, like, what has he done?
Well, is it just the stories of him being a bit
He
of a
was
dick,
cocky.
and so people are like, oh,
Yeah.
But I mean, is that really it to kind of, for that level of how badly the tides have turned on him? Like, it seems extreme. And I think kind of,
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it hasn't gone too bad. They're still absolutely popping for his entrance, and they're all chanting along for
Yeah.
the soft stuff.
And I did hear, like, some, you know, I think it might have been in Raw, like, him getting, you know, his name still getting a bit of a chant as
Yeah.
well.
I think there is a turn, definitely, but they're not really booing him that much. I mean, they did get the "this is boring" chants at the start.
it's certainly polarizing.
It is. We know that much.
Do we think this would be an opportunity to move Neville away from the Cruiserweight title, possibly, into main roster territory?
He's definitely good enough.
Well, maybe, because
Yeah, I'd like to see that. But...
in Raw, apparently he, you know, broke a clause, which means he cannot
Yeah,
fight for the
yeah.
Oh yeah.
cruiserweight belt. But I mean, are we holding the Raw talk until?
No, go for it.
So I watched Raw, and I thought, actually, again, I thought the segment on, you know, at the end of Raw was brilliant. You know, he seemed to, what he was saying, he turned heel with some great insults, like, you know, great mic work, great insults. It was going really well. And then Neville came out, was good on the mic, had the bit where even though the claws, he attacked him, and that was all good. And I thought that was great. And then it went to like, I saw a clip of like after show and what happened like after, it went off TV. And it was really weird because after he took a beat down from Neville and then the show ended, Braun Strowman comes out and goes in the ring and then like, power slams him, beats him up a bit, and then invites the whole cruiserweight division into the ring to do the same. And suddenly like it becomes, people are against Enzo, to hang on, like this is
a bit much.
This is wrong.
This
is like everyone is beating on him.
Do you think that WWE they're aware of how much kind of rumors and heat Enzo has?
Yes.
Like they know what the crowd are thinking, and now they're I think the bad part of it is now past, and now they're kind of playing up the smoke and mirrors a bit to kind of make it seem worse than it is. I mean,
I hope so.
I don't think they would give him a title belt if he legitimately was like a nuisance in backstage. I can't see how that would work.
Yeah, I think you could be right.
Involved.
I think they are playing it, like you said, really well. Being quite clever about it.
I think, what does that do for that whole cruiserweight division though? Like all of them in that moment became heels.
Yeah.
Like none of them played a face at that point.
But I mean, that's kind of off the air as well, isn't it? Like, I've seen Bray Wyatt doing stupid stuff in dark segments.
It's also, I mean, it's off air, but it's also, WWE.com video.
On their Twitter,
right,
they shared it. That relates to a comment that we had from Tim Kerr on Twitter, who said, "I'd like to know what happens with the cruiserweight title now that all the faces are heels and the main heel seems to have turned face all at once."
Yeah, it's confusing.
Yeah,
it is. But I think it's probably the best. The result at No Mercy is probably the best result in terms of the feud and, in terms of the cruiserweight division and what they're doing, because, and by having all that happen as at the end of Raw, the headline period of Raw, surely it's going to get more people interested in watching 205 Live, and I'd be really interested to know what the viewing figures are and how they've changed since Enzo went across. Because for us it's not making any difference. We're not thinking, oh, I'm definitely going to go and watch Enzo, what's he up to? But I imagine a lot of people are and will.
I was just going to say, with the 205 Live, it's not the fact that we don't want to watch it, it's just there's so much wrestling to watch. It's just it's just lower down my priority list than Raw or a pay-per-view, which is every week basically.
Yeah.
Did anyone else get a little bit of an Eddie Guerrero vibe at the end of this match? Like kind of the idea of Enzo sort of being a face but cheating to win. I don't know, like,
let's not compare Enzo Amore with Eddie Guerrero.
No.
Okay.
Let's move on. Let's move on quickly to the Universal Championship match, the main event: Brock Lesnar, the Universal Champion, versus Braun Strowman. Something that we have all been building up to something that I have personally been extremely excited about for a long time.
Good correction.
I just want to start with a little quiz, though.
Ooh.
Opportunity to win some podcast points. This was Brock Lesnar's 20th pay-per-view title match.
Don't ask us to name the other 19.
No. I'm continuing the theme of getting you to name the top 5. Do you know, or can you name the top 5 wrestlers in terms of the amount of pay-per-view title matches they've had?
Ooh. Triple H.
Triple H is number 2, 73.
John Cena.
John Cena's number 1 with 80.
Randy Orton.
Top 3. You just split the top 3, guys. It's almost like I told you the answers just before. Randy Orton got 62, has 62 so far. So you just need number 4 and number 5. I think number 5 is the one that I'm going to give the point to because it's
Hulk Hogan.
Nope.
Oh.
Number 4 is somebody who's featured in a number of the other lists that we've spoken about.
Kane?
No, close.
Oh, it's always bloody Kane in these things.
Undertaker.
Undertaker's correct. So that's Undertaker on 58. The guy in 5th spot has 57, and I think this one's slightly harder to guess.
The Big Show.
Nope.
Oh, he always rounds out lists.
Is he still wrestling?
Chris Jericho?
No, not. But he is still appearing
That's a good guess.
on WWE.
Oh,
Shawn Michaels?
No,
Still appearing on WWE.
he's still appearing regularly.
Booker T.
No.
Kurt
That'd
Angle.
be crazy.
Yes, Kurt Angle.
Oh, of course.
57.
Smashed it, Brett.
57 pay-per-view title matches.
I got
Wow.
3 of those, may I just say.
Yeah, well, you got the point. You've got the one solitary point that was available, so well done. We'll have to get a little league table going. Okay, but yeah, back to the match.
We've got to stop putting Brett over John.
Any thoughts? Or should we just end the pod?
Did Strowman dick Lesnar out of the ring at one point?
What?
Out the ring.
What does that mean?
Right.
Yeah.
It must have been the camera angle. It looked like Strowman ran into the ropes, ran behind Lesnar, kind of dicked him in the butt,
okay,
and then
that's what I
Lesnar
thought
went
you meant.
flying out of the ring.
Yes.
I don't think I made this up.
I do remember that. I know
I
what you're getting
don't.
at. Yeah, that was quite near the start, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I thought the start of this match was good. I like the sort of where Lesnar was trying to take down Braun, but Braun was just pushing him off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was a moment where Braun like power slammed him, and you thought, okay, maybe this is like Goldberg 2,
Yeah.
like a quick victory.
Yeah.
But then it kind of felt a bit flat after that.
Yeah.
I thought this match had shades of Samoa Joe versus Brock Lesnar, where Braun Strowman in this case did a load of work, was really impressive, and then Brock Lesnar just picked him up and F5'd him and called it a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There were a few German suplexes as well. But
Of course.
I liked Corey Graves, and obviously, you know, we all think Corey Graves is great, but like he had a choke slam City Brock. Great quote.
That
early on.
chokeslam was amazing.
And then
Yes.
there was a bit when I think Braun went to charge, you know, like sort of spear shoulder Brock in the corner. And you know where usually the wrestler goes through the ropes and hits the corner post, but Braun was too big.
Yeah, he got wedged in, didn't
Yeah,
he?
and Corey was like, look at that girth.
Yeah.
Corey Graves was on point this whole thing. He did a really good job of
That's what he
actually
does.
having a go at Enzo the whole match. I thought that really helped that match.
Yeah.
But this match was good.
It was good. It was a
yeah,
weird one, though, wasn't
strange
it? Sort of a
ending.
tame finish. I read on Bleacher Report, they said it sort of felt like the first half of a classic match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although
Can
I'm
we-
glad it was only, you know,
It was 9
10
minutes.
9 minutes.
Yeah, 9
was it?
minutes on the nose.
Braun Strowman's ring awareness.
Yeah.
He doesn't have any.
Oh,
He's still very, very green, though, isn't he? Really?
He was in the Kimura lock right next to the rope.
Yeah.
Just reach out, man. Come
I
on.
was thinking of
I
Brett
saw-
when I saw that
He
bit.
kind of did, though, didn't he? I think he kind of reached out and there was like, oh no, I'm not supposed to reach out now because he's supposed to keep me in this. That was just,
yeah.
I don't know if that was his. Anyway, no, I need to learn to take criticism of Braun.
Yeah.
So yes, Sam, you were right.
And-
What was really weird, I thought, was seeing Strowman in a submission and like having to sell an injury. That's the first time we've seen that.
Yeah.
Just this whole match him selling just felt weird. He looked
Yeah.
very vulnerable in this match.
I think the thing is, it's hard to kind of accept Brock Lesnar being the stronger person because, like, you imagine those two getting into a fight, a real life fight, and I don't think there's any world where Brock Lesnar beats Braun Strowman.
Oh, I reckon in a real fight, Brock beats
Yeah,
Braun
probably.
every day.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, he's a trained.
Oh, no,
Yeah, I think so. I think Strowman could probably
No.
deadlift him a number of times, but I think
Strowman puts him in the back of an ambulance and throws it off a cliff.
a real fight.
Yeah.
I think Brock.
Yeah.
I mean, Brock is just a monster. He just looks
Yeah.
like he kills people on a daily basis.
Yeah, it gets tired
Yeah, I
pretty
think
quick
he'd
though.
beat the crap out of Brock.
He does get. I mean, he also like always skips leg day. Like his legs are like chicken thin. It's weird.
Yeah.
I mean, one of my biggest criticisms of Braun a few months ago, and generally of bigger wrestlers, was the fact that their moveset is so limited. And I am so impressed by every single time I watch a Braun Strowman match, he brings a new move to the table, I think.
Yeah, he is adding. He is improving.
And
There's no doubt.
I'm so happy to see a wrestler using the chokeslam. Like, it's a move that is a great one for big wrestlers, and they've got so many different wrestlers that could do it at the moment, and like no one else is using it. Like Big Show is kind of by the by, and Kane is too busy running for mayor. Undertaker was retired by Roman, so you've got that opening.
Yeah,
and
it makes sense.
It just seems like
Strowman
Braun
to use
is
it.
killing it.
He is.
He's a superstar in the waiting, Braun. He really is.
Yeah.
I wanted it to be now. I was excited. I thought, is this going to be it? And I kind of knew it wouldn't be, but he had a good chance in the way they built it.
I thought the great thing about this match is it did feel legitimately like a 50-50, like it could go either way.
Yeah. We've got a question, a listener question from WWE Figs Review on Twitter. They don't review the fruit figs, but wrestling figurines. They ask, do you think Brock beat Joe and Braun with just one F5 to make Roman look amazing when he kicks out of the F5 at WrestleMania?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I think that's a really good point.
For fuck's sake, yes. It really...
I mean, when Brock lifted him up into the F5, I thought he's blatantly going to kick out. And that's why it felt so flat. And even the crowd, like, he's got to kick out of that. And it's Braun Strowman. He's massive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was also something I think they've been doing in quite a few matches in WWE at the moment, is where they have, like, it seemed to be one person having more of a run and a more dominant, and then there's like one little move and then they're pinned. So, you know, like Brock does the F5, pins him. Like, it seems like there's no sort of reality to that. I guess they're trying to sell finishers, but it just didn't feel that way. And I think the same with Reigns and Cena. Like, there was all those AAs, and then Reigns does one punch and a spear, and then Cena's out. Like, it's happening so often where I think you don't feel convinced in the win because of that.
I think this pay-per-view kind of really starts off the road to Roman versus Brock in an official capacity, which I don't think anyone in the world is actually hyped up for. Like, they kept pushing No Mercy as, we have 2 WrestleMania events, and both of them they left the crowd not satisfied with the outcome, I think.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, with the Brock Reigns thing, you know it's leading to WrestleMania, and you know Reigns is going to win.
I hate that. I really do. Like, I have no problem with Roman Reigns as a wrestler. I think he's decent. I like his cocky wrestling, but I hate it when the story feels so telegraphed.
Yeah. You just hate it when it's predictable.
I think,
and that's nothing.
It's because WWE they have people that they want to be stars. That it doesn't feel organic, like their progression or anything. It feels like WWE have said, this guy's our star, and so therefore he's going to get all those opportunities at that big match, rather than you going along with a storyline leading to that.
And I think that's why I feel so much more invested in, like, the Enzo Amore Neville storyline that was going on. Like, I feel like that is organic and interesting. Whether you like Neville and you like Enzo, or you hate them, or whatever, it's, it feels like there's an element of truth to the story around all of it that makes it kind of interesting. Whereas it feels like this long run up to Reigns versus Brock is just, I don't know. I just don't care about that match at WrestleMania.
The trouble with Lesnar being part-time as well, you can't really build to, like, you can't have a story really.
Yeah. And I think kind of you can predict almost, like, coming up around April time, you're going to have, I don't know, just a bunch of interviews, and then they're going to be held back by all the superstars. And I'm going to stop complaining because we're an hour 10 minutes, and I don't want 10 minutes of it to be me complaining about Roman.
Good call. Good call. Well, I'm going to finish with maybe on a bit of a downer, but this is thanks to Dom Richards on Twitter. I'm going to read out his thoughts, and then you guys have to pick us up and find the positive side, okay?
Okay.
I asked on Twitter for any thoughts, any points that people had on No Mercy, and Dom Richards said, "I've got so many points, so many grievances. Why is Bray booked as a god when even sodding Goldberg would go over? Jason Jordan has the worst mic skills I've heard in years. Finn Balor is in serious danger of becoming another pointless NXT flop, and Brock over Strowman, WTF." It's just lazy, unimaginative booking. Even using the auto booker on EWR used to provide better written shows.
Scathing.
I know. So I replied and said, so you enjoyed it, yeah? I mean, it all makes sense, sort of things that we have kind of said, but just not in a row, so they don't sound as harsh.
I mean, this pay-per-view was good, though. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I'd say good, not great, in summary.
Very nearly great, though. It was really close.
And that seems to be the case quite a lot these days, doesn't it?
Oh, do you remember the last SmackDown one we did? What was the last SmackDown on? Battleground?
Oh god, was that with the Punjabi prison?
Yeah.
Anyway, that was gobshite.
Okay, fine.
And also, what's happening on SmackDown at the moment is awful. So this was pretty good.
Cool.
Eesh.
Well, let's leave it at that then. That was our No Mercy review, and coming up in just a second, we will find out who's won the artwork.
Oh, face first into the apron of the ring. There's very little padding there. A dangerous area. It's not wrestler friendly, I can tell you.
So let's move on to something a lot more positive, and that is crowning the first ever artwork competition champion. You will remember last week we gave the opportunity for one of you guys to win the original artwork that Brett illustrated for the Mae Young Classic podcast art. It was a illustration of Tony Storm. What else was in the bundle, Brett?
Sticker, some badges, Naito badge, Hitman badge.
Yeah, and the first ever hardest part of the ring badges. Amazing. So I have loaded everybody's names into this random thing picker, which I found online, and I'm going to click randomize, and we have a winner.
Ow.
The winner is Joshua Owen. Joshua Owen 88 on Twitter.
Hey!
Well done, Joshua.
Cool, just me clapping.
Yes.
Oh, I've just brought his picture up. His profile picture is him with the Young Bucks. So a worthy winner, definitely. Well done, Joshua. We will be in touch through Twitter to get your details and arrange sending that to you in the post. For those of you that didn't win, apologies, but there'll definitely be other artwork and other stuff that Brett does.
For the next competition, can we have like a ladder match for it?
Oh my god. That's an idea.
Who can take the biggest bump off a ladder? Film it, send it to us.
Imagine.
We'll judge.
Nice.
Cool, I like that idea, but we'll definitely do that in the next couple of podcasts. We'll give away some other stuff. Joshua, make sure that you go absolutely mental online talking about how this is the best podcast ever, because you got some cool stuff. It'd be nice to see your Tony Storm print in situ above your mantelpiece in your living room. So anyway, well done. So as mentioned, the next podcast is Hell in a Cell in a couple of weeks, although I'm pretty sure we've said table, ladders and chairs a few times.
Yeah, I think we probably did.
Okay.
I mean, is anyone up for tables, ladders and chairs in a cell?
What about cables, adders and flares?
Oh, call back.
Yes.
Yeah,
Check out the back issues, kids.
So that pay-per-view is coming up in 2 weeks' time. We did have plans to do our first podcast that wasn't a pay-per-view review, but we will probably leave that until afterwards. Hell in a Cell is Sunday the 8th of October, so you can expect the podcast review of that to come out in the days afterwards.
Can't wait to see someone fall off the cell.
Yeah,
Who
I'm
would
wondering
that
what
be?
Shane O'Mac is going to get up to.
I really hope their match isn't in a Hell in a Cell. I hope it's just like a one-on-one.
Yeah, we shall see, and we will talk about it. And then, as I said, we'll then come back a couple of weeks after that, and we've decided we're going to do something that no other podcasts do. I've never heard anybody do a top 5 list, but we are going to do our first ever top 5 list, and we've decided to focus on a really important aspect of professional wrestling. We're going to have a very highbrow conversation about ring attire, and we're going
A
to...
subject we touch on quite a lot.
Yeah, we do. We're going to pick
I've already
our
made
top
some
5
notes about this,
top 5
and one
outfits.
of mine is quite controversial.
Oh.
Is it Finn Balor?
No, that's not controversial.
Interesting.
The man's a dreamboat. Looks amazing in anything.
building interest there, John. Good stuff.
Excellent.
We'll probably put it out to you guys, to the listeners, to let us know your favourites as well. So get thinking about that. In the meantime, if people want to get in touch with us, John, I think you'll remember, guys, that I as if I'm fully in charge. I suggested that Brett did this last time, and
I fucked up.
Yeah. So, John, can he do any better? Let's see.
Here it goes. Right, you can email us at hardestpartofthering@gmail.com, and you can find us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at hardestpartofthepod. Hardest Part Pod.
Right.
Give us a like,
Sam,
give us a share.
It's all well and good you laughing, Sam, but you're doing it on the next podcast.
Cool.
That was super harsh, guys.
That wasn't cool, bro.
Sorry, John.
The fact you took your trousers down and just waved it in front of me like that.
Yeah.
Just
The Finn Balor pose, though, was amazing.
Incredible. Please do remember, as usual, to share the podcast if you're enjoying it. Tell your friends, subscribe to it. We are now available on Acast. Some of you might be listening to this on Acast. Please do rate us. We've got 6 reviews and ratings on iTunes now, which is cool. Thank you to those people who have reviewed us, but we're always excited about receiving more.
Adam, on our review so far, are we more around AJ Styles or more around Ryback levels?
Oh, we're AJ Styles all the way. I think we've got 5
cool.
5-stars and 1 4-star.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
I'm quite looking forward to our first 0-star.
Yeah.
Don't say that,
Yeah.
because somebody might get it.
Where's the
Yeah, don't do it
haters?
now, guys. My ego's too fragile. at the moment.
Self-indulgent nonsense.
Okay, that is it. That is No Mercy reviewed. It's time to say goodbye. So goodbye from me. Goodbye from Sam.
Bye.
Goodbye from John.
Bye.
Goodbye from Brett.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. See you next time. That was the hardest part of the ring.
That is the hardest part of that ring.